Put Namaskar Mudra, close your eyes, relax. Let us chant Omkara 3 times. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Harihi Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namah, Harihi Om. My humble pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you to today's session of Bhagavad Gita. I am not a jnani, I am not a pandita, I am not a guru. I am a sadhaka, I am a seeker. I am conducting this study hour as a means for my learning. In this session, we are going to study Bhagavad Gita with the help of book Gudhartha Deepika, written by Sri Madhusudana Saraswati. It is translated by Sri Gambhirananda from Ramakrishna Math. We will be making use of that book to study. However, that is a big book. We are going to study all the 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. It is going to take time. But we want to know what is Bhagavad Gita. So I am taking up the summary of Bhagavad Gita in the initial classes so that you have a bird's eye view of Bhagavad Gita. So as part of that, we have seen the summary of chapter 1, which is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Today, we are going to see the chapter 2, which is named Sankhya Yoga. It is a very important chapter. The second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya Yoga, that alone itself is sufficient. If you study and understand chapter 2, you have understood entire teaching of Sri Krishna, entire teaching of Bhagavad Gita. The rest of Bhagavad Gita is only an elaboration of what is taught in second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. Today is an important day. We are going to study what is the summary of chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. This gives a complete picture of Sri Krishna's teaching. I know that I will not be doing justice to Sankhya Yoga in such a short time of 1 hour. I will try my best to give a flavor of Sankhya Yoga. I know I will fail to go into the depths of the teaching. However, I'll go over the surface of chapter 2. Let me share my screen. Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means Jnana Yoga. Sankhya here means Jnana, wisdom. Second chapter starts in the first chapter. Arjuna has asked Sri Krishna, has told Sri Krishna that he is finding it difficult to fight because all his relatives are there. He asks Sri Krishna, what is to be done? Please show me a path. So, any ordinary person, if asked this question, would have given an answer saying whether to fight or not to fight, or he may show reasons for fighting or reasons for not fighting. But Sri Krishna, being Jagat Guru, starts with the teaching about the real nature of self. You may find it strange why Krishna is talking about self when Arjuna's question was, do I need to fight or not fight? This is because all our confusions, all our doubts in life stem from a misunderstanding of who we are. Therefore, to set the misunderstanding of Arjuna right, Krishna starts his teaching with a clear understanding about who am I, who you are. So we'll see that. That knowledge about my own self, in your case, your own self. That knowledge is called Atma Jnana. Atma means essence of me, essence of you. What is my real essence? Knowing my real essence, Atma, is Atma Jnana. Krishna starts his teaching with Atma Jnana. Atma Jnana is called Sankhya. Sankhya Yoga. Shuddha Atma Tattva Vijnanam is Sankhyam. The pure self, the unadulterated essence of who I am is Sankhya. Knowing who I am will give me moksha, liberation. See, Vedanta, which is a unique flavor, Advaita, and Sri Krishna especially, takes this path that our problems in life, typically everybody thinks that problems in life are outside. it is caused by so and so person. It is caused by so and so situation. This is the viewpoint of a person who has not analyzed life properly. If you are philosophical in nature, at least a preliminary philosopher, you want to understand, yes, I have problems in life, but where is it coming from? What is the source of this? Why am I being in trouble all the time? If you inquire, if you investigate, you will find that your problems, most of your problems are in your mind. Problems may be there in the world. Events may happen in the world. A person who has not done investigation will say, my problem is due to that person, due to that situation. Vedanta inverts this logic. Vedanta takes a viewpoint that your problem is because of your incorrect understanding of the situation. Situation is there. Situation is neither good nor bad. How you react to the situation is based on your understanding. You can start blaming others and feel bad about it, feel bad about the situation. But if you have right understanding, you will accept the situation and you will be peaceful. It doesn't mean that the situation may change or may not change. Situation may stay as it is. But the response which you can give to the situation can be changed. That is the viewpoint of Vedanta. You have to understand Bhagavad Gita from that viewpoint. My response to the situation is in my hands. Situations I cannot change. Situations may be different, but I don't blame anybody. It is my own mind which is the reason for any problem or any joy. Therefore, knowing my own self, I will be better able to come up with a better response. As an example, I would say a highly evolved person will view the same situation in a mature way. Everybody will agree to that. An emotional person may rage in fit of anger. That is the difference of having right understanding and a incorrect understanding of life. If you look at the chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, sloka number 2.1 to 2.10, Arjuna puts up arguments and Krishna says something. And finally, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. He says, I am surrendering to you, Krishna. Please show me a way. That is from 2.1 sloka to 2.10. And 2.11 to 2.38 is the real teaching of Sri Krishna. The teaching of Jnana Yoga starts 2.11 to 2.38. And from 2.39 to 2.53, Krishna talks about Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means, I will explain you, it is very interesting, how you act in the world. That comes between 2.39 to 2.53. 2.11 to 2.38 is about understanding who you are. 2.39 to 2.53 is about how I should act in the world. So this is a complete teaching of Sri Krishna on who I am and what I should be doing in this world. This is a complete guide for mankind on right understanding and how to act in the world. 2.54 to 2.72 explains about characteristics of a person who has right understanding, who is a sthita prajna, who is established in the right knowledge, how he will think, how he will act, what will be his characteristics. So Arjuna asks, you are saying fine, this is the person should have right understanding. If a person has right understanding, how he will behave in world, what he will be, what will be his characteristics. Then Krishna explains from 2.54 to 2.72 what are the characteristics of a person who is enlightened. So this chapter 2 is a complete package, complete teaching on understanding about myself and what I should be doing in the world. And subsequently, if I have right understanding and my action is right, what will be my characteristics? Okay. So as an example, I'll tell you few shlokas from chapter 2. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, shloka number 2, Bhagavan says, because in chapter 1, Arjuna says so many arguments saying why he should not fight. So in chapter 2, second shloka, Bhagavan says, in Bhagavad Gita, it is Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. When you say Sri Krishna, do not mistake him to be son of Devaki and Vasudeva. He is Bhagavan. Bhagavan is speaking. God is speaking. That's how you have to take. It is not Sri Krishna Uvacha. It is Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Please be on mute, please.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಒಯ್ದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೌದಾ ಅವನು ಹಂಗೆ
Okay. So, chapter 2, shloka number 2, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Justam Aswargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. So, Bhagavan says, oh Arjuna, you are speaking that you will not fight and all. How did you get into this delusion? This is an hour of need. You have to fight. Battle is upon us. And you are backing out. This kind of cowardice is not fit for a warrior like you. It will lead to disgrace for you. Then, in some of the slokas between 2.1 to 2.10, at 2.5, Arjuna says, O Krishna, it is better to live in this world as a beggar than kill all my relatives and elders and eat the food stained by the blood of my relatives. He says that. In 2.7, Arjuna finally surrenders to Krishna. Surrender means there is a knowing that I have limitation, and the other person has more knowledge than me, and I will listen to that person. I will take the advice of that person. So Arjuna says, Karpanya dosho apahata swabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha yachreyah syan nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadi mam tvam prapannam. So he is saying, Prapannam, I am doing prapatti to you. I am surrendering to you. Shishyasteham, I am your student, I am your disciple. Please be my guru and show me the way. So Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. It is not that I know something, whatever you say, I will argue, not like that. He is saying, Krishna, be my guru. I am confused about my duty. I am not able to see what is right and wrong. I am your disciple. Please show me a way. So this is the prayer of Arjuna to Krishna. This is the same prayer which we all have to do to Krishna to show us the way through the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Till 2.7 and 2.8 up to 2.10, Sri Krishna does not start teaching. Once Arjuna surrenders, Krishna starts teaching. In 2.9, Sanjaya, who is narrating the story to Dhritarashtra, narrating the Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra, says, having said this, Arjuna sat at the back of the chariot and said, O Govinda, I will not fight. And he became quiet and silent. So, what do we learn from this? See, depression is there in Arjuna. This is called Bhavaroga. Bhavaroga means afflictions of the world. What are the world we are talking about? The worlds are, there are inner world and there is outer world. In the outer world, you see the world, you see a city, people, mountains. That is the outer world. What is the inner world? Inner world is my mind, my internal thoughts, my emotions, my feelings. So there are two worlds. One is the outer world about people, things, and events. And then there is the inner world, which is mind, intellect, ego, emotions, thoughts, and feelings. What is the failure? What do you consider as failure? You consider as failure in the inner world if you are having anxiety, stress, and unhappiness. What do you consider as failure in the outer world? You consider loss of something, diseases, defeat, shame, etc. What do you consider as success in inner world? Success in inner world is peace, happiness, joy, and love. What do you consider as success in outer world? Profit, health, victory, and fame. Things like that. What is our objective in life? What we want? We want to avoid failure in inner world and the outer world, and we want success in inner world and outer world. This is the objective. What is the solution? Bhagavan Sri Krishna's solution is he starts the right kind of counseling. You can go to any psychiatric counselor and self-help books. They talk about how to lead life, how to live in the life, etc. But Sri Krishna's advice, counseling is different. He gives the right therapy to Arjuna about by teaching Sankhya Yoga, self-knowledge. Know who you are. First know who you are. Before knowing anything, before knowing all the other things about others and all, first know yourself. Then, first be victorious in your inner world. Then you can be victorious in the outer world. Know who you are. This is the teaching of Vedas and Upanishads. First know who you are. Therefore, Krishna starts his teaching with Sankhya Yoga, with Jnana, Atma Jnana. Therefore, this Atma Jnana, a teaching given by Bhagavan Sri Krishna, is the only solution that can overcome Bhavaroga, the disease of the world, afflictions of the world. Success in outer world is possible only if you are successful in inner world. As an example, let us say I am a billionaire, but if I have anxiety, stress, and unhappiness, those billions are useless. Let us say I am having less money. I am relatively less money, but I am peaceful. I am happy. I am loving. I am kind. I am sharing, caring. Who is the rich person between these two? You make the judgment. Now, people think that I am a bhakta of God. I am a devotee. What do? They do puja to God. In the same puja, they will ask for a boon. They'll say, "Oh Bhagavan, give me this. Make my son pass the exam. Give me promotion." This is like dictating to God. Don't do that. Don't dictate to God what is to be done to you. Your prayer should be asking God to provide you strength to face life. No matter what happens in life, you should ask for strength from God, willpower from God to face life. Whatever happens in life, I will face it courageously, happily, and also ask Bhagavan's guidance on how to do things, what to do things, how to do it as a service to Lord. That you should ask Bhagavan. You should not ask for boons. That is like a beggar talking to God. Don't dictate to God. Ask God to guide you. You should be like, "Oh God, guide me. I will accept whatever is your verdict." What is verdict of God? Whatever happens to us in life is what is the prasada of God. God has given it to you. I accept it without any ill feeling. Wrong perception and wrong action leads to failure. Right perception and right action leads to success. So, what is the wrong perception? Raga and Dvesha. attachment. Raga means attachment. Dvesha means hatred. See, if you see yourself or anyone, the moment they see any person or event, either they will have liking or hatred. These two, any of these two will happen. There is no neutrality. And we forget our dharma. What is right thing to do in a given situation, we forget. We break rules. And there is confusion all the time. And there is moha, delusion. Whenever we do wrong things, we will justify it by saying some wrong logic. For us, what is dharma, right thing, appears as wrong, and what is the wrong things appear as right. We think the world is like this. There is chaluness in the world, so it is okay. It's not okay. Dharma is dharma, it has to be followed. And there is grief and depression. We want something, desires are there. If we don't get it, we become depressed. If we get it, you see, even you desire something and you get the object of desire, within 5 minutes, you are disinterested and you want another desire. I'm not speaking falsehood here. You search your heart. You desire something. You want a car. You buy a car. You are happy for 5 minutes. And within 5 minutes, your happiness is gone. And you start thinking about what accessories to buy for the car. And my neighbor's car is more costly. So this is how the human mind works. This kind of thinking leads to wrong action. Our goals, our aims are all centered around our likes and dislikes, our desires. This leads to wrong action. Our action is also has a center point as our likes and dislikes and our desires. So entire life is spent on fulfilling the desires. And what is the result? Any desire not fulfilled leads to anger. Any desire fulfilled leads to unsatisfaction. So, what is the right perception? Sankhya Yoga, self-knowledge, who am I, is the right perception. And Karma Yoga, selfless service to the world, is the right action. You know it. Selfless service. If you help a person, you know you will be happy. It doesn't require philosophy to understand that. If you feed a hungry person, you will be happy. It doesn't require philosophy. It doesn't require Bhagavad Gita to understand that fact. Therefore, Karma Yoga leads to happiness and Jnana Yoga leads to clarity of right understanding of who I am. Therefore, under intense stress, confusion, depression, a person needs to seek help from a competent guru to get right perception, right understanding, and right action. Arjuna grew up with Sri Krishna. He was playing with him. They grew up together. They were brother and brother-in-law. But he always saw Sri Krishna as a friend, relative, and well-wisher in Sri Krishna. But when the crucial moment of battlefield came, when he is in confusion, he didn't see Sri Krishna as just as a friend. He saw Guru in Sri Krishna. He saw Guru in Sri Krishna. Therefore, when the student is ready, Guru appears. Krishna, who was a friend, became Krishna the Guru. So, when the student is ready, Guru appears. So, 2.11 to 2.38 is the teaching of Sankhya Yoga. 2.11, Krishna's teaching starts with this shloka. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Ashocyan Anvashocastvam Prajnavadanscha Bhashase. Gatasu Nagatasuscha Nanushocanti Panditaha. What Bhagavan is saying is, you speak words of wisdom. You are mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. The wise people do not lament for the living nor for the dead. Why? We will see. 2.13. I am taking few slokas. It doesn't do full justice to teaching of Sri Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Dehinosmin yadha dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tadha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. When you take birth, you are about 1.5 feet and you grow up to be a child and you grow up to be a young person and you grow up to be middle-aged person and you grow up to be an old person and you die. Therefore, but you are the same person. The soul is the same. The Atma is the same. The 1 feet body is the same person as the 80-year-old man. Therefore, the soul continuously passes from childhood to youth to old age. Similarly, at the time of death, the soul passes into another body. Just like, please mute yourself. I would appreciate if all of you mute yourself. Please. So just like childhood, youth, middle age, and old age, the body changes continuously. But the soul is the same. You are the same person. Similarly, when the body drops off, the soul passes on into another body. Therefore, the wise person does not get depressed by this fact. Because Arjuna was concerned that I have to kill Bhishma, Drona, etc. So Krishna is saying, you are not actually killing them. It is not possible to kill them. Only the body gets dropped. The soul cannot be killed. So that Bhagavan is going to say. Shri Bhagavan is saying, 2.16, Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhayorapi drustontas tvanayos tattvadarshibhi. What is temporary and transient does not endure. And what is eternal does not stop to be. This has been observed and concluded by wise people after studying the nature of both. What this shloka is, we will study in detail when we study the Gudhartha Deepika. What is temporary? Body is temporary. Therefore, it doesn't last. What is permanent? Atma is permanent, eternal. It never ceases, it never dies, and it is always there. That is the meaning. Shloka number 2.22, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Vasamsi Jirnani Yada Vihaya Navani Gruhnati Naroparani Tada Sharirani Vihaya Jirnani Anyani Sanyati Navani Dehi. What this means is, just like you change clothes, if a garment become old or dirty, you remove the garment and wear a new garment. Similarly, the soul removes one body and wears another body. Soul is eternal, birthless, and deathless. He is talking about you. You are eternal, birthless, and deathless. Your bodies will come and go, but you are forever. The soul is forever. Shloka number 2.23, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavakaha, Nachainam Kledayantyabo, Na Shoshayati Marutaha. Meaning, Nainam Chindanti Shastrani. Shastrani means weapons. Weapons cannot cut the soul, nor can fire burn it. Water cannot wet it, nor can the wind dry it. Meaning, whatever material is there cannot touch the soul. Soul is untouched. Weapons cannot cut it, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it, space cannot penetrate it. The soul is invisible, inconceivable, unalterable, immutable, primordial, and unchangeable. He is talking about you. Shloka number 2.27, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityo dhruvam janma mritasya ja, tasmad apiriharyarde natvam shochitum arhasi. Now, Sri Krishna, for argument's sake, he is saying, even if you consider that people take birth and die, even for that case also you should not grieve, because those who are born will die anyway, and those who are dead will take birth anyway. This is unavoidable, unalterable fact. So, you should not be grieving for Bhishma and Drona and Krupacharya. That is the meaning of this. Because death is inevitable. If you take birth, you will die. If you die, you will take birth. You will be reborn. So this inevitable, unavoidable, unstoppable cycle cannot be changed. Therefore, don't grieve for Bhishma and Drona. So, 2.11 to 2.38 teaching of Sankhya Yoga. After that, he talks about moral responsibilities, order in society. Krishna talks to Arjuna saying that if you don't do this war, the dharma will not be upheld. This war is like a gateway to heaven for Kshatriya. This is an opportunity to fight dharma yuddha. So this is what Krishna says. So what are you spiritually? You are Atma, essence. What is your essence? Atma can neither kill nor can be killed. Atma is beyond the five senses. You cannot see Atma, you cannot touch Atma, you cannot hear Atma, you cannot taste Atma. Atma cannot be known like that. But you can be Atma. Your essence is Atma. Atma or Sakshi is your real identity. You are not body, mind, and intellect. You are not the body and mind. You are Atma. That is your real identity. You might be thinking, I am so and so. My name is so and so. This is my family. This is my husband. This is my wife. These are my children. But that is all false. The real identity is Atma. I am spirit. I am soul. I am beyond five senses. You are not the body, mind, intellect. You are pure consciousness. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Atma is Shiva. Shivoham, I am Shiva. Shivoham, I am Shiva. Shivoham, I am Shiva. I am pure. I am eternal. I am Nissanga. I am not attached to anything. I am desireless. Atma is desireless. Only the material body is perishable. The soul is indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal. The soul neither kills nor can it be killed. Soul is neither born nor does it ever die. Nor having once existed, does it ever cease to be. The soul is without birth, eternal, immortal, and ageless, and sinless also. There is no karma attached to soul. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. Soul is unbreakable and incombustible. It can neither be dampened nor dried. It is everlasting in all places, unalterable, immutable, and primordial. This is the Sankhya Yoga, gist of Sankhya Yoga. This is your true nature. This is your real identity. Atma is your real identity. Atma is Brahman. Atma is God. This is your real identity. Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, 2.39 to 2.53 talks about Karma Yoga. Now you know who you are. Now, what you should do in this world as per Sri Krishna. We are here to learn, modify our life for right understanding about who I am from Sri Krishna. Also, we want to learn from Sri Krishna what I should be doing in this world, how I should act. Krishna is not going to tell you, do this action or do that action. He is going to tell you how action has to be performed. So, sloka number 39 as an example, he says, so far I have explained to you about Sankhya Yoga. Now I am going to tell you about how to do karma, how you can get out of karma bandha. Now, what is importance of it's talking about karma? For that, you have to understand what is the problem we are in. What is the problem we are in is we have desires and we do some action. Every action has a consequence that you have to bear. When there is every action as consequence, to bear that consequence, to experience the karma phala, you have to take birth again. When you take birth again because of your past actions, karma phala, you have a new life. In this new life, while experiencing the karma phala of the past actions, you will take birth again. You will do some more karma. And that some more karma gets added to your bank account of karma bank. To experience the karma phala of that bank account of karma, you have to take birth again. In every birth, it is not guaranteed that you have a wonderful life. If you have wonderful life in every life, there is no problem. But every life is not wonderful. You have to undergo problems in life. Even this life, you know, there are problems. So, we keep on taking birth and undergoing problems after problems, some joy, some happiness, again some problem, some disease, body aching, everything we have to bear. Is it acceptable to you that continuous cycle we keep on undergoing problems? If it is acceptable, then Krishna's teaching is not for you. Karma yoga is not for you. You can do karma, accumulate karma phala, take another birth, experience the karma phala. Karma phala can be good or bad, good pleasurable event or unfavorable event. Take birth, undergo the favorable experience, undergo the unfavorable experience, and while undergoing it, do some more karma and then accumulate karma bank account to experience that karma phala, take another birth, and this is a eternal life cycle, karma cycle. If this is acceptable to you, please go ahead. You can go through karma cycle. But intelligent person will think, oh, for infinite number of lifetimes, I have to undergo this painful life. Of course, there will be pleasures also. It's a mixture. Some pleasure, some pain will be there. Am I stuck with this cycle? Can I get out of this karma cycle? Is the question. So, Krishna teaches how to do karma so that the karma bank account will not be accumulated. That is the teaching of karma yoga. Understand? How do you act in this world so that you do not accumulate the bank account of karma, so that ultimately your karma bank account will become zero and you don't have to undergo the painful experiences anymore. So that is the teaching of Krishna, karma yoga. So what is the teaching? Shloka number 2.47. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbu mate sango karmani. You have a right to perform action, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Karma phala, don't be attached, don't have expectations, don't be attached to the fruits of the actions. Just act without expecting anything. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your actions. Do not be, because result of the action is given by God. Therefore, you are not attached to the fruits of the actions. Don't have any expectations. Just act. What is required, you do. What is a duty, you do. But don't have any desires. Just because Krishna said that don't be attached to the fruits of the actions, don't be attached to inaction. That means, okay, I will not do any action. Don't do that. You should be fully active, doing all your duties. And give up the fruits of the actions. Give up your desire for the fruits of the actions. This is the secret of Karma Yoga. Shloka number 48, chapter 2. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Yogastaha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyoha Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. This is the definition of yoga. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. What is this samatvam? Being equal, equanimous towards Siddhi, Asiddhi. What is Siddhi? Favorable success, Asiddhi, failure. Irrespective of success and failure, you just act without expecting any results. You just act what is duty without expecting success and failure. You will not be successful all the time. You will not be failure all the time. Therefore, whether the result is success or failure, you just act. This equanimity towards success and failure, samatvam, is called yoga. This is the definition of yoga as per Sri Krishna. Shloka number 50, 2.50, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya vijjasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Therefore, who practices this karma yoga, what is taught in 48, without attachment to the results of the actions, they will get rid of both good karma phala and bad karma phala in this life itself. Therefore, practice this yoga of equanimity. So, doing actions without attachment to fruits of actions and without getting attached to success or failure, equanimous is the skill in work. This is how this is called the skill in working. Yoga karmasu kausalam. This is the right way of doing. 2.51 Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Karmajam buddhiyuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha Janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchantyanamaya. What is the phala of this karma yoga? This equanimity towards success and failure and not getting attached to the fruits of action. If you get attached to the few fruits of action, you are bound to the karma cycle. But if you are not attached to the fruits of actions and just do your duty equanimously towards success and failure, that kind of action will lead you to liberation beyond suffering. So, summary 2.39 to 2.53 teaching of Karma Yoga. What are the different types of karma one can do? Kaya, which is physical action. Vacha, which is verbal action. Manasa, which is mental action. Buddhya, which is intellectual action. So we do action physical, verbal, mental, and intellectual. Who is a karma rogi? Rogi means a diseased person. Who is a karma rogi? Who will do kaya, physical actions for sensual pleasures. Vacha, verbal actions like gossip, lies, hurtful words. Manasa action, worry, mental actions like worry, jealousy, anger, past and future, regrets. And buddhya, intellectual actions like superstitions, confusions, negativity. This person is called a karma rogi, a diseased person. This person's attitude is, I am body, mind, intellect. I am body. This is the attitude. This world is there for me to enjoy. This is the attitude of a karma rogi. I am here to enjoy the world. And he suffers from stress, delusion, confusion, and depression. Who is a karma yogi? Who does karma yoga? Kaya, physical action, is a dharmic action. He does seva, helping others. He will do pancha yajna. I'll explain what is pancha yajna. He will do worship of God. Vacha, verbal action. He will be truthful, inspiring, pleasant. He will do stuti of God, worship God. He will do kirtana of God. He will do bhajans. What is the manasa action, mental action? He will do dhyana, meditation, japa, repetition, chanting. What will be the buddhya action, intellectual action? He will have clarity. He will listen to the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. So he will do self-inquiry. He will find out who am I. He will do shravana, manana, nididhyasa. What is the attitude of this person? I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am pure consciousness. My nature is bliss and peace. I am servant of God. The world is a university of God. I am here to learn the karmic lessons. I evolve through this learning and selfless service. Moksha is my nature. Atma is my nature. So, question. Our hair has turned grey. Did we learn the lessons? Atmano mokshartam jagat hitaya cha. What is the greatest example of a karma yogi? It is Lord Hanuman. Hanuman has spent his entire life serving Rama. Karma yoga is the action that connects you to God right now by doing Pancha Yajna. Sankhya yoga is the knowledge that connects you to God right now by knowing that I am Atma, I am unborn, I am eternal, I am free, I don't have any karma, I am God, I am the representation of God. That is the Sankhya yoga. Karma yoga is the action that connects you to God through service to the world. Now people say, I will do karma yoga later. I will connect with God later. This is incorrect. Being karma yogi is connecting with God right here and right now. Clarity of head, purity of heart, jagadhitaya. Your hands should be serving the world by doing karma yoga. Do japa. Japa connects instantly as the name of God is God itself. Do nama japa. Do pranayama. Pranayama connects instantly with God as prana, as energy. What is the journey of a person? From being a karma rogi, I am the doer, papa punya, to a dharmi, karmi to dharmi, good actions for punya, to karma yogi, selfless service leading to chitta shuddhi, purity of heart, to jnana yogi, by doing Shravana, Marana. Now you are doing Shravana, listening of Guru Upadesam. By listening to Vedanta, you become Jnani. All actions for Loka Kalyana, for the welfare of the world, you become liberated. What is the glory of Karma Yogi? He will attain Shat Sampatti, the 6 spiritual qualities. He will always be successful. Success means we have defined what is success. Internal success, peace, love, compassion, no failures because he is not attached to success or failure. He does action as a duty. He is focused on task and result oriented. Result not being success or failure, but doing the action with complete focus. He is not affected by result, focused on Atmano Mokshartam Jagathitaya. I will uplift myself and I will serve the world. World is a spiritual gym as per Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda said, world is not there for you to enjoy. World is there for you learning. As a spiritual gym, as a karma yogi, serve people, do spiritual gym, learn lessons, learn jnana, learn karma, karma yogi, how to become a karma yogi. Every problem or challenge is an opportunity to learn. People go in the name of spirituality. They go to this guru, this temple, that temple, japa, homa, but they don't dig deep in one spot. They don't transform themselves to know who they are and to do seva to the world. So, shloka number 54 to 72 is a qualities of enlightened person versus ordinary mortals. Arjuna asks in 54, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisya keshava Sthitati kim prabhasheta kim asita brajeta kim. O Keshava, what is the disposition of one who is attained this divine consciousness? How does an enlightened person talk? How does he walk, sit and walk? So from 54 to 72, Bhagavan Sri Krishna explains about enlightened beings' characteristics. As an example, I am giving Dukkeshu Anudvigna Manaha, Sukheshu Vigata Spruha, Vitaraga Bhayakrodha, Stitadir Muniruchyate. Meaning, when the dukkha comes, when the unfavorable conditions comes, he is not agitated and depressed. When the joyful thing comes, he does not forget himself and jumping with joy. And he will Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. Raga means attachment, Bhaya means fear, Krodha means anger. He will get rid of attachment, fear, and anger, and he will be stable minded. He is known as Muni. And shloka number 62, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, it explains about what is the fall of a person. How does a person fall? How does a person get into trouble? By not following jnana and karma yoga, how does a person falls into wrong tendencies? Shloka number 62, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, Sangasteshu Upajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, Kamat Krodho Vijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha, Sammohat Smriti Vibramaha, Smriti Bramshat Buddhinasho, Buddhinashat Pranashyati. These two slokas has to be read together, 62 and 63. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. By thinking about objects of pleasure, you are attached to that object. By attaching to the object, you develop a desire for that object. By developing a desire for the object, if that desire is not fulfilled, it will lead to anger. If the desire is not satisfied, it will lead to anger, frustration, and dissatisfaction. All starts with thinking about an object. Sloka number 63. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibramaha, smriti bramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. From anger comes the clouding of judgment, which results in bewilderment of memory. What is a memory? Memory of what is right and wrong. Because of anger, you will forget what is right and wrong. When memory is bewildered, intellect gets destroyed. Intellect gets destroyed means you will lose reason. And when you will lose reason, you are as good as ruined. Okay. 2.54. What is the quality of an enlightened person? You may think that that person has a big white beard, he wears a saffron cloth, he will have magical powers and spend 25 years in Himalayas. Nothing like that. A real jnani, enlightened person is so ordinary, he is egoless, down to earth, simple, humble, he blends in the society, established in truth, that he stands out as extraordinary. Jnana, wisdom is not external. It is not for a show off. Jnana is internal. It is love, wisdom, compassion, peace, and bliss. Guru should be stotriya, shrotriya, willing and able to teach. Brahmanishta, established in Brahman. If you want to know, there are 4 pointers to evaluate your spiritual progress. You can remember the fire. F for frequency of emotional disturbances. I for intensity of emotional disturbances. R is recovery time from emotional disturbance. E is empathy instead of emotional disturbance. If you maintain a diary about your emotional disturbances, what is the frequency of it? What is the intensity of it? What is the recovery from emotional disturbance? What is the empathy you have? You will know whether you are making spiritual progress or not. Karma yoga is joy of doing. You serve somebody, it's a joy. You feed somebody, it's a joy. It's a purification of the heart and preparation for receiving jnana, wisdom. Jnana is joy of being. Jivan mukti is the result, liberated while alive. Who is the sthita prajna, enlightened being? The 7 characteristics which we have mentioned is desirelessness, situational stability, emotional stability, self-control, tranquility, established in fullness, oneness with Brahman, Jivan Mukti. With this, we end chapter 2. I keep the forum open. If anybody wants to have any question, they can ask. Okay. If there are no questions, we'll close for the day. Put Namaskara Mudra. Let us chant Omkara. Om. 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 Asato ma Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrutyorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Thank you very much.